I woke up feeling like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Oh my goodness, we got so much going on. Thank you for keeping me somewhere in that mix. Of course, when you're cutting wood, I expect all eyes to be where your fingers are. All right, so I went to we had a community building-wide fire safety meeting, and I found out, number one, this building is extraordinarily safe in case of fire. The biggest hazard is smoke. So we got instructions on what to do, and those who can't walk, we have fire safe doors guaranteed for, I don't know, up to 90 minutes, I think. But we all have the safety routines, and there's fire guys end up with a little card when they enter the building. They know to grab it. They got keys for every one of these places. So it's interesting that every one of these floors is a cement floor with a heavy-duty sprinkler system. So the minute there's fire, there's also going to be some apartment that's going to get flooded. So, I know the biggest cause of fires everywhere, 57% is from cooking. It's in the kitchen fires. So we went over different ways to prevent that from happening. Now, I am very mindful of the kitchen. All right. Hey, Charlie. So now, of course, this building, you know, there's lots of seniors in here, and some of them do have oxygen. And at least one that I've seen has a plaque on the door that states "oxygen in use." So they're serious about it. Well, the thing I learned today that was so fascinating that I had no clue is oxygen itself is not flammable. It's not. It's what it touches that turns that super flammable. And there's something that has a chemical reaction with oxygen, and it's mind blowing what this is. It's oil, anything petroleum based, and oxygen do not go together. There is a chemical reaction that causes the oxygen to burn. How's that? If you're using oxygen or you're going to be around oxygen tanks, you're not supposed to use a bunch of lotion or anything that has petrochemicals in it. Like, holy shit. Hadn't a clue about that. So, and I was always told oxygen is flammable, you know, but that was the explosive part of it. But it turns out, I said, if you're near oxygen, the oxygen immediately goes into the clothing. So, like, if you have oxygen on your face and it gets loose, it goes right to your nearest clothing, and you just get turned into a matchstick head. So, I'm so glad I do not need oxygen, because, like, I live with hand lotions. Hand lotions are like part of my life. There's a bottle of hand lotion of some kind or the other, and foot lotion, literally in every room in this house. Well, apartment rather. Anyway, this is a super, super safe building. And I'm right next to the stairwell, which is the safest. The stairwells are literally the safest part of the building. So, excuse me. Unless I'm the one that catches fire, this is a super safe spot right here. Even from smoke, because of the cross ventilation I can get when I open up the windows up here on the top floor. Most of the time. Anyway, so that was the fire thing, and we got souvenirs. I don't know if it's because we're seniors, most of us. We're not all seniors, that's something to remember. It's like the seniors were all there today. There's lots of more than 50% of the building here is not senior. Well, a lot of the people here, if they were to jump out even the first floor window, they would break. Falling down is a serious issue. Me, I'm on the 6th floor. I would definitely break. Unless I was able to turn something into a parachute somehow and not let go of it. It's a quicker way to go home, you know, for good. In any case, if it didn't kill me, I would not want to have to go through that kind of recovery. And of course, if I was alive, I would. So anyway, so let's see. Look at that. It's a little yellow, but this is still a good light for, oh, there we go, bright, yeah, bright white. All right, I want to get this done already. I need to be able to get these stacked and out of the way. So, Likeness needs 6 hands today. And Meg, hi. And Charlie, hi. So, excuse me. Oh no, I sit down and I'm starting to get congested. I think that's a hint that I need to move more. have to limit the length of the shows to 2 hours max and then get my ass moving. I have not had the lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle in terms of physical activity that I used to have, and clearly it's showing in my body. So anyway, souvenir. This is a souvenir. A sound you can live with. Test smoke alarms once a month. So we get this little 12-inch ruler to test I turn it off if your smoke turned off. I was shocked to hear how many people here when they cook, they make so much smoke that their alarms go off. One woman says every time she cooks an egg, the alarm goes off. This is also a woman with the kind of attitude about everything that makes me go like, okay, she's one of those people you need to stay away from. It's not that she's not a nice person. She's a nice person, but she is herself so in that vibration that is looking for trouble, always looking at the bad, her own losses, everything that's wrong. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Ah, there you are. All right. So, she said she could set it off just cooking an egg, and I'm thinking that poor egg. If you make smoke cooking an egg, how high is that heat? So, yeah, people like her need to really know what not to do. I've never set off the alarm, and I have made a little smoke with the fryer, but I've gotten like sleeves and things caught on pans, but I move slowly because of that. And I've gone, yeah, okay, we do not wear this near the stove anymore. You learn to put the handles away from where you can touch them or tip them over, you know. You learn your space, and you need to learn your space. And I thought that's what everybody did. You know, I mean, how long do you need to be in the same room using the same utensils and appliances and not know your space? Well, we have a lot of people that don't. So they have to be told like they're 4-year-olds. I'm surprised they are not being told, don't put your hand on a hot burner. It's going to hurt. Anyway, this was one of our souvenirs. What I'm trying to show you actually is that you see where it's white here? It's white because it changes by temperature. I put this next to my coffee warmer. Now, just holding it in my little it's not a cold hand, but it's not a super warm hand right now. I could not make it change at all. I carried it all the way upstairs like that. No change whatsoever. But a few minutes next to something warm, and it's been away from that now, but it's still taking a while for it to change back. I'm assuming it's going to change back. If it's a one-time thing, hey, that's no fun. So, oh, and it's fire safety rules on the back. So, they say if clothes are burning, stop, drop, and roll. Get out and stay out of a burning building. Matches are a tool for adults. Crawl low in smoke. Test your smoke alarms monthly. Have a family escape plan. Learn the ABCs of fire extinguishers. Our fire extinguishers in the hallway, so, you know. So basically, now I know what to do. I've got a healthy respect for electrical things. I make sure things are not halfway hanging out because I actually almost set fire to our place in Rhode Island with a space heater that turned on and it was just pulling out. And when another appliance next to it turned on, invisible electrical movement happened and it sparked and caught fire. And I was right there when it happened in time to go I put it out with my hands, which were covered with melted plastic from that experience. Luckily, I moved fast, efficiently, and I knew where the bathroom was with the cold water. So I had minimal blistering, a bit sore. So yeah, things happen, and once they happen, you become extra paranoid. I have had accidents with candles. Accidents, plural. I've had two very well-known ones. One cost me money. One just cost me a mess I had to clean up. But yeah, it doesn't take too many lessons to have a healthy respect for fire in all of its forms. I said, even these little thin cable that charges our computers, that little thin wire actually gets warm, and if anything is on top of it or if it gets pinched, that's enough for it to catch fire and set fire to your desk. Like, wow. Congratulations! Yay! Well, that happened suddenly. Or was it suddenly? Hallelujah, hallelujah. Well, that's awesome. Yes, that when it rains, it pours. But it's good stuff happening right now, too. And it sounds like it's predominantly good stuff happening. So keep that good feeling in the air. I got it. Don't worry, you don't have to correct your spelling here. Unless it's somebody's name. Well, congratulations. So I know cars so well. What color is it? That sums up what I am into with cars. Actually, I'm learning a little bit more. I'm trying to develop an imagination for things I don't usually think about. Ah. That's so exciting. The drag, of course, is always the paperwork that has to follow. But you have so many days to do that. I want to make sure I preserve the areas I'm going to try to fix. So I can wipe them off fast if I screw it up. It's kind of like music. You know, you sit down and you write down a song. The music, the words, everything comes together. Or it doesn't. For me, all of my best songs just poured out of me. And did not require a whole lot of work to make it good. But others, it's like going off to a good start, like one part and another. Like some things just, you finish this song and people say, yeah, it's a good song. And you go to yourself like, yeah, will I remember it 10 years from now? And it turns out, no. I have forgotten so much of my own music that it's laughable. But that just gives me a chance to reinvent it later, like on a keyboard, since all the stuff I wrote when I was a little kid was completely lost, except whatever memories of the music is somewhere in the back of my brain. As an adult, the majority of my writing was on guitar, so um, yeah. And then I started writing on piano, but actually it was a synthesizer, and it was really sucked going from a Korg Poly 6 to just a standard keyboard. It's like, I am missing so many things I got spoiled with. And now I've kind of got a similar situation with keyboards. I've got a keyboard I prefer, but it's got to shorten it with the power cord. It keeps turning itself off, and when it doesn't go all the way off, it makes a terrible sound, and it comes sometimes enough to ruin my settings. And that's the keyboard that has these rhythm tracks. I love those rhythm tracks. I've written a whole bunch of music to those rhythm tracks, and it's really helped with composition, especially. And you do have to get used to keeping a consistent rhythm. So it is, on one hand, a little metronomish, but on the other hand, it's useful. But as Rich and I discovered, when you need to record it so you can change it and make it actually like yours, you can't do that because the MIDI does not understand it. It's kind of like the way old internet did not understand photographs. It needed to have text. It could scroll, but it couldn't do art. Oh yeah, okay, I see where we're gonna have to explode some more color. But okay, so far. This one little spot is aggravating me. So I have to just stay calm. New York, New York, start spreading the news. New York, New York, applause is not the one, or a village in Iowa, silence is a maven. Okay, thank you for that completely out of context remark. Explain. Yeah, this little light is in the way of you seeing. Damn it. No, that doesn't help. Okay, it'll work. Frank Sinatra Live. Which is the name? Yeah. There's only one New York. Rich has pointed out to me that I have not gotten my New York song out. And it's been 2 winters already, and the song's called It's Winter and I'm Missing New York City. Now, the time to be plugging it like crazy is summer. You gotta go 6 months ahead of the season at least. And I just wasn't happy with the mix. So he's going to go over it again, and then I'll listen to it again and we'll see what we're going to do with it. Yeah, the actual New York song is definitely all about specifically and love of New York City, the one and only. It won a song. An award was basically created to reward that song. The Crystal Apple, the Tri-State Songwriting Competition. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Oh, yeah. Mix up those two, Charlie. Go for it. I'm just going for some color matching, which I'm clearly having a problem with. I'm trying to see it in my head. I guess it is primary yellow. there's that. No, it's not that. I'm gonna try that. Oh no, this is just kind of thin. Maybe that was that. Oh, damn it. All right. Wait. Naples yellow. Let's go with that. Oh, Carruthers. Here, stand over there. Oh, might as well use that. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm going to move this away to dry because I have to lean in and do this, and this is wet right here. Kind of painted myself into a corner in reverse. But it was a good idea because now I really see some of the color that was disappearing against the black gesso, actually the black paint. And now some of it that was kind of invisible is visible. And I can see where some places are not going to need any more paint, but where I'm going to need more paint. So let me get this out of the way. I see a place over there. Ooh, Friday. I'm getting the canvas that's bigger than this, and it's really good quality. I don't know why I'm bothering to sit down. Now I found some random American. Well, there you go. There's always somebody to study. I had fun playing with that Black India ink. They turned into cities. I have had a problem with this image. Okay, this is my dilemma. As a mosaic, a mosaic style collage, layers and all this other stuff, obviously, silly stuff too. I couldn't decide. I still kind of undecided about putting windows. I was gonna just give it up, but then I like the windows in the painting I just did. So I was thinking of putting windows in, but I mean, with a city, it's not that big a deal. The dashes, dots, however you want to do it, because it's supposed to be from a distance and they're small. But these are the bigger houses. These are supposed to be like suburbia. And that gets a bit more complicated. You know, like now I'm going to do doors, and we don't want to do too much detail. We really just want this to be symbolic of the lines connecting women in the from the city and the country, you know, connecting them. Women are standing by each other no matter what part of the world or part of this country they're in. So I wanted to make it sure it was, you can see that that's what this connecting string is supposed to be. That's why I highlighted it with glitter. But again, I'm using symbology, and I don't know if this is going to come across to people who aren't into that. If they're just looking at it as a Toblerone backdrop, it has to be more basic. You know, the meaning has to come across faster and more intuitively. So that's what I'm thinking about. One of the saddest things here is when someone has to move out, but they're going to a place where they're not going to need any of their stuff anymore. And this little Japanese woman I really liked used to go to the senior center every day. So when I would be waiting for the bus to go shopping, she would be waiting to do the trip to the senior center. And a couple months ago, apparently she took a fall and wasn't able to fully recover from it and went into a nursing home. And they've just basically emptied out her apartment, and they haven't been out there, and I've been listening to the furniture being thrown out there, I guess, that nobody was claiming or is allowed to claim. I'm not really sure how it was working with that. Her daughter approved of whatever happened, so it's not like it's just people came in and the company said just empty the apartment. But some stuff went downstairs, like dishware, and it just happened that when I was down there today for the meeting, immediately I saw something that I wanted, and I knew immediately where it came from because it's like an authentic handmade Japanese, like miso and sushi bowl, and the lid can become your rice lid. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's a small bowl like for miso soup, and that was what I had out here earlier. And there were 3 of them and 4 lids, which also you just sit that way, and then you got a little sushi plate. That's what I was trying to say. Or whatever you want to put on it. There were 4 tops, and I dropped one, bringing it to the table so I could put it down and go to the meeting, and instead of like making an extra trip upstairs. And of course, it did break. But I've got the matching set of 3, so it's pretty. And I'll have something to remember that woman by, even though her name just keeps escaping me. It's terrible. I'm so bad with names that if I don't see it in writing because of my hearing, every time someone says her name, it sounds different to me. I don't think I've heard it the same way twice. But when we used to wait outside, we talked, and I had no problem understanding her for the most part. But yeah, she had a very strong Japanese accent. Just a sweet woman. So let's see. To do it or not to do it. On something like this, I could do black and white windows. Or black and... yeah, silver, so I'd go with the black and white. Those with light in it and those with no light in it, right? We've got the night here. I guess I'd put some night over here too. Okay, well, I guess it's still late. All right. I'm trying to imagine the doors, how big it has to be. Oh, it could be all over the place. For something this big, I could also use tissue paper instead of paint and make them more uniform, which sounds like a smart thing to do. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for that paint to dry, we can go ahead and make some forward motion on this. Hey, what is this? Oh, we have another one. It's little though. I don't like the little. But we have it. All right. Well, we have plenty to get us to Friday, that's for sure. The tissue paper. Okay. Klutzy woman. Let's do something interesting, right? We've got all this rice paper after all. Oh, yeah, I saved this. I want to make... It's the last of this paper. This is a... Oh, it's a rice paper, but it's not actually rice paper. It's... We just fell in that category. Something you bought large sheet at a time, like the rest of these imported papers. And look at those beautiful fibers in that. Some of it looks like silk threads, and it might be. I can't be sure because it's been too many years since I bought all that. And that's all that's left of it. You know, there used to be a whole sheet. Oh, wait a second. It's kind of cool. It's got a little goldish in it. But I guess it should be dark at the door, right? Okay. That could be interesting. All right, that's workable, but what else? What would be for the windows? The windows would have to be we want them to be wide awake, right? How about some of this orange for the windows? Oh, I can see myself having a painter in them and make them into windows, though. How much work am I making for myself? To be or not to be? Is it a question? You're here because you wanted to be. And now that you be, where do you want to go from here? You know, I gotta tell you, we've been trying to say for a long time, and have said straight out, that we predict ourselves. We predict ourselves into our futures. Whatever you're predicting for yourself is your future. So you've got to pay attention to what you're thinking about the future. Because anything that is a prediction, meaning you may not have any proof that it's going to happen, but we'll make it so. Because that is how it works. So you want to learn about these things and pay attention so you can make course corrections along the way. Catching it, like catching a bad feeling and going, oh yeah, I don't want to think about this the rest of the day because this is going to ruin my my entire buzz. I'm streaming. Doing good so far. I'm saying good night to Mr. Rich. Divorced and living with parents. Holy shit, that's so typical of American right now, yeah. That's like cliche. Whoa. Trying to type and hold on to these folders. So, what about the rain? Isn't it great? You want it, right? Come back, chat. Phones are too small for this shit. Divorce should be illegal and marry for life. Yeah, so you be miserable because of a mistake you made when you're 20s. So for the next 40, 50, 60, 70 years, you should be miserable. Or just do what the French do and take on a lover. Have affairs. Because that's what unhappy people do. For one who has never been married, you're not in a position to say such things. That's why I don't believe that priests should have any say in married people's lives. One who has never had sex has no business commenting on it. Oh, it's not easy. I said you get married for free, but, you know, comedians joke about how divorce is basically an operation where the wallet is removed through your guts. Divorce sucks. It's hard. And a lot of people get married again. A lot of people stop the marriage. My first husband and I stopped the marriage, stopped the divorce to try again. And it didn't work, which was predictable because of the reasons we got divorced in the first place. But he didn't believe that we couldn't work it out. And so I agreed to try again. That's a wonderful idea, Doc. It is a wonderful feeling. Go ask one of those old ladies if they want to go dance in the rain with you. Of course, that could lead to problems later. Hey, there is no doubt marriage is challenging, and most people get married because they have to, or they believe they have to because surprise pregnancies, or they marry because they fell in love. Those are the most volatile. And then there's the ones that are arranged marriages, and sometimes those work and sometimes they just breed resentment. There's all different things for all different people. Some people think they're in love, get married, and then realize when they actually fall in love that they weren't in love in the first place. And boy, is that a shock, huh? Well, barefoot on a sidewalk or on the beach, I don't think that's... Slipping is as big a problem as in getting wet feet on linoleum or a wooden floor. Oh, goody, no clips. I have got to buy more of those stupid little clips. Hold on, I'm going to see if there's one I can bum from the freezer. Not what I had in mind, but it should do. There you go. I don't think people should be forced to stay together. I do believe that in many cases, especially if there's children involved, therapy is in order. Find out what's going on. But a lot of times it's really kind of simple. And especially if the marriage is more than a decade old. Because the more time you spend together, unless you've done a bunch of different things to keep adding information to your life, it becomes the same old stories, which are comforting on one side, a bummer on the other. It's like no growth, or it feels like no growth. But then also there's people that one person grows faster than the other. People do change, as they get older. My parents, I was glad they got divorced. I mean, seriously, I was glad. Because then the weird vibes ended. As long as I was assured that my father was not going to be like out of my life, I was fine with him moving out. It's like, good, we'll have peace and quiet. Hey, whiteness. My parents were young when they got married. They did not make a wise choice. Neither one of them. He's singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. I think we want to go a little bigger. Is this really all right? Should go a little smaller. This doesn't get around. You don't want to get this on your skin. It'll pierce it. It's for hanging curtains. I've been using it for a clip in the kitchen. It works. All right, let's go ahead and do these first. Small. We need something longer. There we go. My favorite. I'm going to have to paint this just to keep it together. Our magical Liquitex gloss medium varnish, and I use it for so much. I should put that on the wish list for what it costs. It's like, yeah, I'll take that, a bottle of that for my birthday. Ah, nice warm light, huh? Okay. Here's our first contestant. And we are going to place this far, far away. Right there. Okay. There we go. Doesn't take much. Okay. Gotta make sure it's only one. All right, it's only one. You're slightly askew. That makes me dizzy. Not. Oh, wait, well, we'll pretend it was in an earthquake. That one did very nicely. Oh, perfect. Don't go anywhere. Hey, Bib. And the last one. That one is the tricky one. I can remove the excess in a couple of minutes. All right, we got the doors on. I will not have to worry about doors over here. Matter of fact, we're going to paint this side. This part will be the constructed side. Ah, that sounds like a good idea. I will join you. Be right back. That's a cardboard box that the light came in. Gelato. Oh, oh. Gelato. Oh, 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 oh. It works. Good, 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 good vibrations. Oh, I've got to tell you what I found today on the internet. Not hard to find. It was Jimmy Kimmel. And I laughed out loud several times during the most recent episode that was put up. Whatever, the segments they put up there. Worth watching. If you don't already know, the champion of the First Amendment right, free speech, no censorship, tried to censor Jimmy Kimmel because he didn't like the jokes that Kimmel was making about him. So President Snowflake tried very hard, called his boss and everything, had the White House call the boss to shut him up. And they didn't. But isn't that freaking funny? You hurt my feelings, comedian. Like, why does anybody bother getting mad at a comedian? That's just a waste of energy. I mean, unless they just suck as comedians. There are those out there. I am enjoying seeing more stand-up lately. A lot more people are getting an opportunity. Some of them clearly should not have had it, but you don't know until you try. And I think there's an audience for almost everybody and everything anymore. Yep. People, they try to get in the way, right? They don't like what you say. They try to cancel you. And then others, they threatened AT&T if they didn't put Newsmax back on. It's like, really? Again, you can't tell a private corporation what to do. That's not capitalism. That's not free market. That's closer to communism if you can do that. And definitely it's fascism. You don't tell people. But anyway, it's just, it was a funny episode, so I thought you might like it if you want to laugh at the politics of the day rather than go, oi, what's next? No, don't go there. Okay, we need smaller windows, I guess. This will be a little trickier, but it'll have plenty of windows. Now, the number of doors, that was pure luck. I did not count them. I mean, I counted how many I would need in the end. But when I was folding paper and cutting it, I wasn't counting, so I didn't really know what I was doing, but apparently I did okay. Let's hope I'm doing the same with this. Because when it comes to putting light colors down, I frequently have to go back and put 2 down. Oh, where's my little jaws of paper death? Oh. I staggered across a wonderful website if you're into paper mache But if you want the paper mache to be super strong and still lightweight, and if you want it to be more like clay than paper mache, the secret is the addition of joint compound. Now, joint compound is amazing stuff. And if you don't have a lot of drywall being done around you, you're not going to know it or be able to get your hands on drywall, joint compound. Joint compound is very much like spackle. In fact, it looks pretty much the same. It's very strong. And an old friend of mine developed a technique of working with it as an art material that was absolutely brilliant and stunning. Just stunning. You know, ballpoint pens, how, if you take them apart, you just got this, a little receptacle with a hole. Well, she filled that with joint compound and made a little plunger to make it like a syringe. Later on, she moved up to syringes when she discovered that. But she was able to get a perfectly round, beautiful. She drew on a glass bottle, and it sticks to glass. So she did this beautiful scene and covered this gorgeous, unusual shaped bottle. It was like, this bottle so pretty by itself. It's like, well, you don't want to get rid of it, but you need more than just this bottle. So she decorated it with joint compound, which you would never guess was joint compound. And she was able to get the really fine lines because of using the pen and later syringes. I actually have something that she made, but all it shows, it just shows her drawing. She covered a little plastic thing that you get like in the gumball machines to get a little prize. And she made it more permanent by covering it and then painting it and decorating it with joint compound. So joint compound added to paper mache makes a mold much more moldable and strong, yet still lightweight clay to make masks and animals and all kinds of cool shit with. And when you do it, it's so strong. The woman demonstrates, like if this was your armature, this is the shape you're going to put it on. You could just put a very thin layer on and let that harden, and it's surprisingly sturdy, just a very thin, paper thin layer. Whereas if it was without the joint compound, it would not be anywhere near as strong. You'd have to build it up a little bit more. So, it was a really good discovery. So I saved the video to craft in my favorites. And we'll see if I ever get around to that. Now we have paper clay right now without me having to go through all of that. Because frankly, I am not going and buying a bunch of joint compound. You can buy a little bit. It dries out very quickly though, so you don't want to go too much. But if you're doing anything in your house, you get a gallon bucket of it. And that's how people found alternative things to do with it. Like, I got a bucket and I didn't need but half of it, and now I've got all of this joint compound that's going to dry up, become a rock. All I got out of it was a plastic bucket. Alright, I think we got the size alright, but yeah, this is not dark enough by itself. It's gonna look ew. Alright, the only way that's going to work is if I come back with a marker or paintbrush, and I'm going to tell you no paintbrush, too much detail work for this. I'm going to have to come back and draw around and make windowsills. I love all your little your little thingies, you know. Good sword. I was thinking about The Princess Bride, because I also came across an interview with the actors, like a dozen years after the movie was out. And I was kind of surprised to hear it wasn't a hit. It's a bigger hit now than it was back when they released it. Everybody had gone on, and people had, the actors themselves had kind of like put that on the back burner in their minds. It's like, well, we thought it was a great movie, but it didn't happen. Now people are learning more about it and appreciate it, and they love it, and that's it. Music notes. Are they in all the emojis? Well, I just have emojis, whatever they mean. All right, we're going to need something smaller, a little closer to the size. I like that. I love this. Just move that little lamp on over. Cool. This time it's not in your way. It's in mine. Now, looking at it upside down. Oh, we can get this off now. Give me exacto. There we go. Always make sure it's tight every single time you use it from the text emoji. Come on, you stubborn git. There. And there. Good pick down. In the end, this is all going to get covered again because we're going to have to, except for this. The fabric, I want to retain all the texture. All right, so let's see how we're going to do the windows. Kind of random. Not too random. Let's start with that kind of a thing next to the door. I don't know why I did that. Hey, come here. Here, leave it there. Still raining? Eh. One at a time. Yeah, why don't we make it easier? I wonder, I'm gonna check the little charging cord for this. I probably use the one that is currently overcharging my phone. I have to unplug it. There. Looks like it's a standard. Yeah, right. It's charging. I guess it doesn't like to do too many things at once. Okay. Oh, get back to work. Get back to work. We have a lot of windows to install. That's a pretty piece. It's like, does everybody have one? No. Maybe something else smaller. Ah, that sounds like a good idea. What say you, Oink? Should we be in solidarity with Maui? I just looked up and realized I still have my Christmas curtain up there. I really have got to get the little ladder out and take care of that. Yeah, actually, I understand. We are still apparently waiting for our full-on heat. There is some heat rising behind me. I'm not sure if this is a good sign or just the usual. Like, there's not a whole lot of people showering right now, so we can put that heater on. but it's been a drag having to use space heater. Everybody's had to use it. In fact, they had to pass them out, make sure everybody had one. I said no because I already had one. I should have said, I'll take it. Thank you. I consider it a gift in return for all of the heat included days we have not had, including over Christmas. Well, I think we need to do more than one window, right? If these are big houses. Something in the attic. Let's see. This one can have one on the other side. This one can have one on the other side. This one can do that. This cannot. What the hell is that? Oh, cool. How high is the sky? Interesting. I got a call from 828. Isn't that North Carolina? Or is that California? It went straight to messages, so it might be a spam one that already got blocked. Let's take a look. No? I wonder what. I recognize the area code. A voicemail received. Which I'm not listening to now. It's after hours. All right. I'm going to put one on the other side. Because there's room. I'm going to have to resonate myself because I'm maxed out on everything else for the moment. Nothing else I can do. I love wraparound windows. There we go. Kind of like what I have. Oh, we can do it there too. Okay. Put some on the side. There we go. Oh, yes, plenty of room in there. Okay, up, up, up. What is my problem with this last one? There we go. Oh. Good night. Are you saying good night? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna go to bed. Sweet dreams to you, dear. See you tomorrow. I do have to break down and do laundry tomorrow, though. So I don't know what time I'll be on, but I will be on. I am not shopping. Matter of fact, I'm not going anywhere for a few days because the weather is about to go from crappy to worse. Oh, there you go. Pizza is perfect. Oh, why did you say that? Man, I wish I could get Chinese food or a pizza. They both sound appetizing. I haven't done, well, pizza actually, the mouth wants it and everything below it doesn't. So I would not do pizza. Actually, I think it's my last chance to finish up some chili. That might be a little too harsh for me, though. I might have to just say goodbye to that. I try to, eat my leftovers, but occasionally I just don't make it. And some things like chili, I only do small quantities of that anyway. It's not good. Oh no, you don't like pizza? All right. How did it come out? I had last night's leftovers today. Leftover chicken with some fresh broccoli. But then I ruined the clean food trend by having 3 frozen taquitos. Spicy, crunchy. Delicious. But definitely processed food. So I had that to hold me so I could come here and play with you. I am starting to get hungry though, again, which is probably a good sign for me, bad sign for streaming. Ah. Well, that's all right. I like that. Sometimes there have been some frozen pizzas that were surprisingly good for me, and to me. So, and there was one that was with a thin crust with it was like a white pizza with spinach and herbs and stuff on it. It was really good. Really good. Crust was like perfect for that. But I do not remember who. It's been years since I've done that. Now there's no way of knowing just how charged this light is. So we're gonna leave it. All right, so do I want another window anywhere here? I don't know. I should leave it that way for now. No sauce. Oh, you mean like a boobly thing? Just the crust that you put stuff on and then throw in the oven? Eat, eat, eat. Calm the monsters down. If I ever had demons, they would only come out when I'm hungry. I once bit my own finger. I was eating so fast because I was so hungry. I mean, then I almost stopped to laugh, you know. Once I ascertained that my thumb was not actually pierced, I went back. Oh, you don't do sauce on your pizza? Oh, that's interesting. That's very original, actually. I mean, original pizza was just some olive oil, some salt, maybe pepper, and, you know, if anything else, it'd be whatever would happen to be around that needed to get eaten. So one can do anything with that bread. And like every culture has one. It's like, well, how can you say? They call it different things, but it's basically, when you see what the ingredients are, it's like, well, yeah, flour and water and salt. The variation is adding oil. How different you think anything is going to be? I mean, you don't even need yeast to make it bubble up in your pan. All right, I think we're going to call it quits there. If I need more, I know where's a whole sheet of that. Let's make sure that's good. All right. You don't want that Liquitex stuff. Varnish hardening in your brush. Just pretty much the end of your brush if you do that. Okay. So now we've got the city. What are we doing with the city? Paint. We're going to do paint. Well, I think that's a project to leave for tomorrow. One, better light because I'm starting to cast shadows. We don't want shadows when I'm trying to paint little dots. And then we'll do our little cityscape tomorrow. We'll see how it looks if I do it mostly like black and, well, no, if it's apartments, I guess most of it would be on, right? Lights in the windows. I mean, that is what makes them sparkle at night. So I guess we'll do a bunch of light. White, yellow, yeah. All right, I think we got it. Tomorrow. I am just so bad at this. Oh, give me some room, then there just won't be gloom, and you can see the whole thing. All right, well, you get a little bit more. Neon Disco Cats, exactly. Orion, ¿cómo ça va? ¿Qué pasa? What's going on? So right, I was able to see it. I'm wearing my bifocals, but I do appreciate people typing in caps. Yeah, these are definitely neon, and all of the connections, the communication lines are hot with sparkles because they're alive, a vibrant conversation, woman to woman. Yes, I realize it's a little cliche, but little ears, cat. My musical compositions. Shoot. But not literally. Yes, what about them? I am looking. I'm keeping an eye on the phone of the chat on the phone. Are you getting to go, Doc? Getting ready to go? Sign language. It's a little hard, just here. What am I looking at? I'm trying to hear. What's the question, Mon? What am I looking at, Maui? They're too tiny. Are you giving me the finger? Coughing in your elbow and pointing at a strawberry. Okie dokie. Don't forget to make some steam. heater's not fixed since the little heater came on. Oh, is that what they're doing? Little yallers. I always thought they were supposed to be like chicks, like baby chickens, like peeps. Is that why things are yellow? For peeps? Yellow smiley face? No, the yellow smiley face was back in the 70s. Well, I think Maui has a good idea, Oink. Although you were already, you know. Now, I did have that one gummy earlier. I did a gummy before the meeting, so I wouldn't have to worry about, oh, goody, the other pain medication ran out. It helped enough, long enough to get through an hour. I can't say that one dose is enough for me, so, But I think I've only got 2 left, so I'm being cautious. I have to move my legs and my butt. Things are starting to go numb. Well, I'm gonna say they have not resolved the heat problem yet. We still don't have it to speak of. I put the kettle on. Now, I'll tell you, I don't know how it works for you. When I get cold, I get hungry. I want a cozy. I want my tea. Which is what I just put on. Now, I can put the rest of this on here. I'm toast the next couple hours. So, in your toastedness, are you going to lay down or are you just going to hang out? I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go and make something to eat or not. That snack only lasted me, well, I guess I should just go eat. It's almost 6 o'clock. But I didn't get back until late, so I feel kind of deprived. That's my tea. Well, okay, aside from laundry and eating tomorrow, I don't have anything to do but paint. And I have a lot of ideas for painting I really want to get done. So, yeah, I've been thinking about this one all day. It just keeps popping into my head how I'm going to handle this and wondering if I could actually fit 3 instead of 2 angels on this. The stone that the builder refused. Psalm 118, line 22. I do not have the Psalms memorized. So out of context, what does it mean? Ah, there you go. I did that too. Actually, I have to do that. If I don't do that, it's just too easy for me to overlook things right now. I've got so much paperwork to do. So yeah, I had to break it down, and tomorrow is like, okay, this is what you do, and this is what you do, and I had to get all my calendars straight today. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, yeah. So, I forgot to tell you, I tried on my new dress, and it is a perfect fit. It fit like a glove, little tight glove, but I think it's gonna be a favorite. But it does have, because it's a knit, and it's long sleeve, and it's black. It's not something I'll be able to wear in the sun, but it's so comfortable, especially because it's not an expensive dress. You can actually wear it around the house, kind of a thing. I mean, I'm not gonna wear it painting or cleaning or cooking, but I can go like do laundry wearing it and be comfortable. Go do the meditations, whatever. It's like I can be around the building or go to the store wearing it and that kind of thing. It'll work. Oh, well, I did not know that. I still don't know what it means. Oh, stone became the most important. I see. Got it. Oh, okay, right. Got it. Refresh the memory. Well, I know a stone that I'm not going to refuse. It's solid as a rock. see how this is doing. Yeah, see, fluorescent lights just plain stink unless they're balanced. It's like shooting pool. You know, the light over the table has got to be centered properly, or it completely screws up your English. Oh. Yeah. I have to work on it tomorrow. And I have to check the weather because the weather is going to have an effect on how much light I have and all that. All right, still sticky. We're not going to touch it. We're just going to wash things up and wait for tomorrow. That might be a good sign that the humidity's rising a little bit because it's been so dry. Oh, okay, gotta put more out there. Well, we're gonna be doing a full coat anyway, but right now I just put the clear on so I can see what I have to work on. I love the colors, especially in here. That deep purple, the magenta, the light magenta, a fiery orange. Yeah, okay. But now we got to get more of the feathery feeling. I can feel feathery. I had to figure out dinner now. Now, that is one thing I don't like about waiting too long. If I get too hungry, then I'm ravenous immediately, like from basic hunger to starving to death kind of thing. I don't seem to have an in-between anymore. And once I hit those stages, the problem is impatience. You know, like you'll eat anything because it's fast. And really, I just shouldn't even buy things that are fast food because I will use it. Last night before bed, I had a hot dog. A hot dog. So I said, well, Mom, you and I are going to sit together for a few minutes. I can't have a hot dog anymore without thinking of my mother because it was one of like her favorite things. One of her snacks. That's how she took care of her peckishness in the night. So, yeah, it was just a few minutes of communing. Mom's out there. So, I don't know what's going on out there. I see cold cereal. I don't know if my milk is still good. I don't remember opening it. If I opened it already, it's no good. I guess I should find something to eat. If I'm starting to think of cold cereal, yes, I bought, because it was so cheap, I got the store brand Rice Krispies because sometimes I like to eat them out of hand, and Cheerios, which I also used to when I was a kid, like to eat out of hand, and they were also on sale, so I thought, all right, I haven't had cereal around for a little while, so what the hell, try it. But they're still closed, and I probably don't have milk, so I guess it will be out of hand if I eat them. Anyway, my friends, I'm going to go. because now that I'm starting to really babble, that's telling me, my brain is telling me I need food. It needs carbs or it's not going to think clearly. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Enjoy your chill time. Think happy thoughts. Remember, Peter Pan was right. You want to fly? You got to think happy thoughts. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.